financial problems, elder law, criminal law, tax problems, business matters, divorce, personal injury, bankruptcy, your life, your reality. Life is complicated. There is the law and there is reality. Welcome to Law and Reality, sponsored by THAV GROSS. Now here's your host, Ken Gross.
Welcome to this segment of Law and Reality. Today's topic is, but I don't want to go to the nursing home. Brian Small, good morning.
Good morning, Ken. A pleasure to be here this morning.
Such a happy topic we're talking about, going to the nursing home. Pat Samaska, how are you?
Hey guys, how are you? Glad to be here.
So, Pat, I understand, it's like you always ask me, whenever we do seminars together on this topic, you always start off with saying, well, who does want to go to the nursing home?
Yeah. The nursing homes are full of people that are never going to the nursing home.
I'm one of them.
Absolutely.
I'm going to Oregon.
Yeah, right. Well, that's great, but, people think they're going to Oregon because they have the assisted and that type of stuff. But in reality, most people are in the nursing home because of dementia or they had a stroke. By the time that you're in the nursing home, you don't know that you're in the nursing home potentially. So you need to do that a little bit before you need to go in. So.
And I suppose you really need to make sure the people who are going to get you to Oregon know that that's what they need to do. And then they got to do it.
I have to tell you guys, too, we've had a couple families in the 30 years that we've been doing that they actually diagnosed with cancer and they committed suicide. And it's never that, that nice, calming thing. It's grandson walks into the garage and finds grandpa, and it's just horrible. It's just horrible. So they really need to do something with these laws out there to help protect the people.
Well, let me throw you a few statistics just on this issue of the nursing home. Longtermcare.acl.gov. 70% of people turning 65 today are going to spend some time in long-term care. Elderneeds.com. In 2030, 70 million people will be 65 or older. 8.4 million will be 85 years or older. It's estimated there's approximately 77 million baby boomers. Of these, 3.85 million will need nursing home care at some point in their lives. Among persons aged 57, 56% will stay in a nursing home at least one night during their life. Average stay in a nursing home, 835 days, 2.2 years.
Right.
Seniorhomes.com says average cost of nursing home care, $249 a day. That's $93,000 a year. So, Pat, what does all this mean? What should people? What are the options here?
So, first of all, everybody in our viewers has car insurance. Very few people are in a car accident. Everybody has homeowners insurance. Nobody's house ever burns down. A third of us are good, or more, 50% of us will be in a nursing home, and no one has nursing home insurance because they don't want to admit the fact that they're probably going in, and if they don't use nursing home insurance, they lose it after they pass away. So it's one of those inevitable things that no one wants to face. So you either need to start protecting your assets on a legal basis, or you better start protecting your assets on a financial basis.
That's a good point on the insurance. I mean, it's like the same thing, if you die and you've never had a homeowner's claim, you don't get to keep your insurance in your grave. Same thing with car insurance. But for some reason, people think differently when it comes to long-term care insurance, also disability insurance.
True.
Well, isn't it all really just about risk management? And the fact is that in a normal situation, a normal couple, a normal person doesn't think about risk management of their own risk. They think about risk management with regard to their belongings, their automobile, their car insurance, their home insurance, things like that. It's not a regularly discussed, you can buy this policy from State Farm.
Those are things people really care about, Brian.
Right.
But
Well,
I've never had my insurance agent call me up and say, hey, would you like to buy long-term care insurance? Because most people aren't dealing with that type of insurance agent.
Yeah.
They're dealing with their car insurance and their homeowner's insurance.
Okay. Brian, let me ask you a question.
Should you
I'm
buy
a long-term care insurance agent. Why don't you come over on Monday and we'll write you up with a long-term care policy? And you're going to say they're too expensive. And which is true. And you're going to say, but if I don't use it, I'm going to lose it. And companies know that. And there's a company out there now, Nationwide Insurance Company. They realize that. So they have a life insurance policy that you put money in now. If you pass away, the money goes to your family member, so it's life insurance. But if you need long-term care, whether in-home care or assisted living or nursing home care, you can pull the death benefit out and help pay for that care. So it's not you don't use it, you lose it. It's if you need it, it's there for yourself. But if you don't need it, it'll go to your family members.
That's
so
a good
Pat,
idea.
I have that kind of life insurance.
Oh, there you go. Good for you.
Are you talking about the policy we have, Brian?
No, I'm talking about my own private policies.
We have a corporate policy that also provides, it's not for long-term care, but you're able, if you're diagnosed with a certain level of illness, you're able to pull out the cash, some of the cash value.
And that policy can, through your work, right? Because it's through your work, it has zero cash value because it's a work policy.
No, actually, it's a modified whole life policy.
That's yours, Brian, but it's probably
work policy. Is a work policy.
So, good.
This isn't our employer-paid insurance. This is the insurance on our stock agreement. So, are you saying, Pat, you should do insurance, or should you not do insurance and do Medicaid planning?
You should look at one or the other. This is what everybody does, Ken. Dig a hole and shove your head in the sand.
Well, okay. Pat, I have a question. As we're heading towards the break.
The first thing you need to do is buy a shovel then.
Right. First thing you do is
No, wait. As we're heading towards the break, let's set this up for the question, which is, Pat, it's too late for most people when they start to think about this stuff to get those insurance policies because they are prohibitively expensive once you're over 60. Is it too late at age 60 to do the Medicaid planning?
Never. It's never too late to start.
All right, so let's go to the break, and when we come back, let's talk about how Medicaid planning works as an alternative to the insurance. COVID-19 presents a fight for our personal and business financial survival. You have to make choices. Cash is critical. Do you tap your retirement, home equity line, or run up the credit cards? You need the right plan to avoid being wiped out, and you need it now. You can't rely on the government or banks. Call us. We're the experts in financial crisis. We were here for you and your business in the Great Recession, and we're here for you now. We will create a plan and get through this together. THAV GROSS will solve your problem.
If you're retired and in a financial crisis, there is a way out.
It pains me when I see a retired couple exhaust their savings by paying credit card bills and for a home hopelessly underwater.
THAV GROSS specializes in helping retired people in financial crisis.
You just can't keep paying until you're broke. You need to address the problem now.
888-235-HELP. That's 888-235-HELP.
We're THAV GROSS. Our firm will solve your problem.
Tax problems are major problems. Don't let the IRS levy your wages and seize your assets. There is a solution.
We're THAV GROSS. Our firm will solve your problem.
If you're behind on your taxes and owe money to the IRS, call THAV GROSS.
We've been solving tax problems for 32 years. We stop wage levies, resolve unfiled returns, and obtain the best possible settlements.
Call THAV GROSS today, 888-235-HELP.
Will I outlive my money?
Medicaid is so confusing.
A will, or do I need a trust?
What if mom needs to go in a nursing home?
At Samasco Law, we have the answers to all of these questions. Our attorneys will eliminate the confusion and develop a plan that's right for you. We are dedicated to veterans benefits, assisted living, and nursing home care. Samasco Law can help prepare you for a long future. Call Samasco Law today.
You can't work. You have to deal with pain and stress. Worse yet, our system for applying for disability benefits seeks to deny you the benefits you're entitled.
Jeff Kirschner is an expert in obtaining disability and workers' compensation benefits for his clients. You need to call Jeff before you apply or after you're denied to get the benefits you deserve. 888-235-HELP. 888-235-HELP. Carrying too much debt? Resolve your debt. Call THAV GROSS.
You don't need to be broke, and you don't need to hit rock bottom. If you have income and you're struggling with debt, dump it. Think about the next 10 or 20 years. If you do what the banks tell you, you'll have nothing to retire with. There is a solution.
Don't waste your future. Call THAV GROSS. We're experts at eliminating credit card debt. 888-235-HELP. That's 888-235-HELP. Is the debt piling up? Struggling to get by?
It's all about preserving future income. Bankruptcy is one option. When it's right, it's the least costly, most effective way to save your home, eliminate a second mortgage, and wipe out credit card debt. But you need to address the problem now.
We help people with bankruptcy. Call the experts.
We're THAV GROSS. Our firm will solve your problem.
888-235-HELP. That's 888-235-HELP.
All right, so Brian, right before the break, what were you going to ask?
Well, I was talking about the long-term care insurance and how, in my mind, it's prohibitively expensive once you get to age 60. I mean, I've looked into the price of it. I know that it's my intention to buy it. I want to get the last kid out of college. I mean, I got the whole goal thing going on. But the reality is that it seems to be inordinately expensive. So I want an alternative to that insurance.
You want to look. So this is it. You're trying to buy fire insurance when the house next door is on fire. It's going to be really difficult to do that. So what you need to do is look at your options. I'm a long-term care insurance salesman. I've never sold a long-term care policy because I can protect it on a legal basis. And the funny thing is, nursing homes, it's the same bed whether you're on private pay or you're on Medicaid.
So Pat, when you say you can protect it on a legal basis, you're referring to Medicaid planning?
Yeah, the Medicaid planning part of it.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I mean, that's kind of where you've kind of led me over the last 10 years that we've been doing this together. Is I've kind of said to myself, I will just hope that the nursing home problem doesn't arise. But then if it does arise, I know that there's methods using elder law, Medicaid planning that we can be used. But to do that, what have you always said is the most critical document that you have to have in order to do this?
You got to have the medical and the financial power of attorney. You need the financial power of attorney because it's a tool in the toolbox that allows me and your spouse and your kids to do the planning that needs to be done without having to go through probate court.
All right, back up a little bit though. What is the power of attorney?
So financial power of attorney says, hey, I pick my wife to do my financial planning for me. Go to the bank, cash checks, deal with my IRA, deal with Medicaid planning, deal with my life insurance policies, do anything that needs to be done to be able to protect your assets. And if my wife's not around, I pick my daughter to be next in line.
All right, so what the critical thing is, you have to have that in place and signed and valid while you're competent, so that if all of a sudden you're at the point where you need the nursing home and you're not able to, recite your name or remember, what your middle name is, at that point you can't sign that power of attorney.
Right. And the other thing is with COVID, the big problem, even if you could sign it, but you're in the hospital because you're sick, we're not allowed to go into the hospital to sign papers now or assisted livings, or you don't want to bring grandma out. You need to do it while you have the ability to do it. So you can go sit down and meet with me or Ken or Brian to go through that paperwork while you have the ability to see them in person.
So let me see if this is the correct statement. If you have no thoughts that you're headed to the nursing home in the next 6 months or a year, because you're perfectly good health, so is your spouse and everything else, you still need to you don't need to do a tremendous amount of planning, but you need to have a durable power of attorney in place today, so that if a problem arises, you don't have the problem of you can't sign the durable power of attorney.
Yeah,
so
it
needs to know that.
Well, it hit really home last September I was in that bad car accident, and I was in the hospital in the intensive care, might have to go into like rehab. And if I wouldn't have had that power of attorney in place, my wife couldn't have been doing what needed to be done. So everybody needs it before it's too late.
So you had yours in place.
Yeah.
Brian, do you have yours?
Absolutely.
I have mine. Dave, do you have yours? Dave's probably going to say no because I think I have to do it for him.
Every kid brings their mom in and says, Mom, I've been telling Mom to do this. I'm telling Mom to do it. So Mom's finally do it. And I look at the son. Okay, do you have your stuff done? They go, we're next. Every kid says, we're next. All right, so at the time you do the durable power, it seems to me the logical course is you should also do a normal estate plan at that point too, because you need that as well. Well, that's what you do. So you look at what tools you need in the toolbox. Medical, financial, wills, trust, but trust agreements, people think a trust agreement solves every problem in the world. It's just another tool. You have revocable trust, you have irrevocable trust. Which is the one that fits you best? So when we talk to our clients that have documents, we said, this is what a revocable trust is. And they say, oh, that's what we have. That's what they think they have. That's what they want. But in reality, they have the revocable trust, and the revocable trust does not protect assets from a nursing home.
Yeah, that's the thing that people don't realize is Medicaid planning is specific to that point. Your normal, what I would call garden variety estate plan is something you need. That's your revocable living trust, your pour over will, your healthcare and your medical power or your financial power. But even though you have those in place, when the nursing home problem arises, you still need to do more planning. Those documents don't work for that. So it's not that you need to put the normal estate plan in place and then you're covered for Medicaid planning. You're not. You need to put the normal estate plan in place so you're covered in case you die or you become disabled, and you don't need the nursing home. But if you then are alive and you need the nursing home, then you got to do planning.
Right. So Brian would start out with a nice revocable trust, but when you get old like Ken, then you switch over to the irrevocable trust.
Excuse me, that's pretty good.
I can't hear you.
You know, Pat, I have an interim question, which goes back to the mix between Medicaid planning and the insurance. What about the person that never wants to go into the nursing home but can't afford the private pay themselves? Is there an interim product before they reach the point where, regardless of whether they want the nursing home or not, they're going to need they can stay home?
That is the life insurance policy that has the long-term rider on it, because you don't have to be in the nursing home to access the benefits. You need 2 activities of daily living. So.
All right, well, actually, let's take a break. When we come back, I want to go into those activities of daily living and how to qualify for Medicaid planning.
Yep.
If you're retired and in a financial crisis, there is a way out.
It pains me when I see a retired couple exhaust their savings by paying credit card bills and for a home hopelessly underwater.
THAV GROSS specializes in helping retired people in financial crisis.
You just can't keep paying until you're broke. You need to address the problem now.
888-235-HELP. That's 888-235-HELP.
We're THAV GROSS. Our firm will solve your problem.
Carrying too much debt? Resolve your debt. Call THAV GROSS.
You don't need to be broke, and you don't need to hit rock bottom. If you have income and you're struggling with debt, dump it. Think about the next 10 or 20 years. If you do what the banks tell you, you'll have nothing to retire with. There is a solution.
Don't waste your future. Call THAV GROSS. We're experts at eliminating credit card debt. 888-235-HELP. That's 888-235-HELP.
You're all set to retire. You have your home paid off, money in the bank, and sound investments. But if you're not careful, all the things that you work so hard for can disappear. At Samasco Financial, we'll help you prevent that. We go beyond ordinary asset management. We'll safeguard everything that you have by creating a plan made specifically for you. How much can you afford to lose? Nothing. Protect the people that you love and the things that you have. Call Samasco Financial today.
Time for announcements. I want to remind our viewers to listen to us for Law and Reality Live on the Praise Network, Tuesdays, 10 o'clock a.m. and Saturdays, 7 o'clock a.m. And then on KISS 105.9, Sundays, 7:30 a.m. every week. Law and Reality is happy to announce a free webinar. Stay in your home, attend our webinar via the internet. You can watch it at the time of your choice and at your convenience. Just go to thavgross.com or lawandreality.com on the homepage. Click webinar and you'll be taken right to the webinar, and you'll have Brian, myself, and Jeff Linden presenting to you. We're going to talk about how to eliminate your debt and get a fresh start and live debt-free for 2021. Remember, to be free, you must be debt-free. We'll address all the methods that we use to preserve future income, get rid of the debt so that you can start saving money in the bank rather than giving your money to the bank. There'll be a special segment on small businesses facing debt and closure issues, learning your best options of when to use bankruptcy and when not to file bankruptcy. Attendees get a free copy of my book, Dump Your Debt. You can always come in to THAV Gross for a free consult. We're doing teleconferences, phone conferences, as well as proper social distancing for in-office meetings. Whichever you prefer, we can accommodate. You want to call 888-235-HELP or go online to sign up. Debt issues, tax issues, estate planning issues, business issues, elder law issues with Pat, disability issues with Jeffrey Kirshner, criminal law issues with Scott Weinberg. Just reach out to us. We're happy to help you. When you come in and you get a free consult, it's not a meet and greet. It's an analysis of your problem with a specific developed plan as to the best and optimal solution to that problem, so you know what your options are and you know how to implement a plan to resolve the problem. Also, take a look at the free reports that are online. Resolving Tax Problems, The Real Solution by myself and Jeff Linden, How to Save Your Home from Foreclosure, Business Formations, Loans and Grants for Small Businesses in Detroit and Michigan, and also the Retiree's Guide for Social Security from Pat Samasco. I want to thank our sponsors, THAV Gross, Samasco Law, Kirshner Law. Now back to the show.
Tax problems are major problems. Don't let the IRS levy your wages and seize your assets. There is a solution.
We're THAV Gross. Our firm will solve your problem.
If you're behind on your taxes and owe money to the IRS, call THAV Gross.
We've been solving tax problems for 32 years. We stop wage levies, resolve unfiled returns, and obtain the best possible settlements.
Call THAV Gross today, 888-235-HELP.
COVID-19 presents a fight for our personal and business financial survival. You have to make choices. Cash is critical. Do you tap your retirement, home equity line, or run up the credit cards? You need the right plan to avoid being wiped out, and you need it now. You can't rely on the government or banks. Call us. We're the experts in financial crisis. We were here for you and your business in the Great Recession, and we're here for you now. We'll create a plan and get through this together. THAV Gross will solve your problem.
So we're back. All right, so Pat, take us through this process of how Medicare then plays into Medicaid.
So people have Medicare as hospital insurance. So people think I have Medicare, it's going to pay the nursing home. If you're in the hospital for 3 days and then you go to the nursing home, Medicare with your Blue Cross or HAP will pay up to 100 days total. But if skilled care stops, everything stops, and now you're on private pay until we can get you approved for Medicaid. And
I want to just interject. People need to understand something. Once you go into that nursing home, that 100 days only goes as long as you are actively rehabbing. If your condition is so bad that you can't rehab, they cut you off, and then you immediately go to private pay unless you're on Medicaid, right?
Right. You're absolutely right. Yeah.
That happened to my father. He was anemic, and he kept saying, "Do you want to do physical therapy?" And he was saying, "No, I'm too tired."
Yeah.
So I asked them, well, if he doesn't do physical therapy, is that going to be a problem on Medicaid? Oh, no, that won't be a problem.
Yeah,
3 days later, they said to me, your father doesn't qualify for Medicare anymore.
Right. That's exactly how it works. No one gets 100 days total normally unless they break their hip, or now maybe with COVID, you're on a ventilator and stuff like that. So, but you'd see that's where you need to plan, though, to get the Medicaid benefit, because Medicaid is the long term.
All right, so take us into the situation. Dad goes into the nursing home. He has a durable power of attorney, but he hasn't done anything yet. He calls you. What do you do?
Well, first,
Dad's
we're gonna get his family to come in, wife, kids to come in, and we need to list of what their assets and their income are. And then we're going to sit down and say, this is the strategy that we're going to implement based on the facts that you have. And like Brian said, it's case specific. For this family, we're going to do it this way.
Brian says it is individual to the individual.
Individual, right. He is absolutely correct. And this is the weird thing. We'll have clients that come in and say, this won't work, or you need to do it that way because my cousin's aunt's neighbor in Georgia lived next door to the lady in the trailer park, did it this way 15 years ago. And I go, great, but that's not the way that it works now. Right. Yeah.
So in that scenario, you analyze the whole thing, and what is the goal and what is the outcome? What are you able to typically do?
To protect every dime of the money, or every dime that's protectable, to make sure we get you whatever government benefits that are available to you.
So just so put it into perspective, what it works then is that when you go to private pay, Medicaid ends up picking up the lion's share of the expense.
Yeah, some cases 100%. Some cases we may lose the Social Security, but it's all planning. You got to start as early to sort of talk about your different options.
Pat, here's a question. Right now,
Sure.
Dad's going into the nursing home. They've been told it's got to be private pay. Everybody is panic stricken.
Right.
So how long does it take from the minute they pick up the phone with you and call you till the time Medicaid is normally approved? And is it retroactive back to the day one that Dad went into the private pay facility?
I hope it only takes 1 minute, because that's all you have in your answer.
Well, the answer is this. It's individual to the individual. And every case is different, buddy. But I'm going to tell you this. When you're coming in to see me, we're doing, I don't want a nickel to go to a place that isn't supposed to go to. I want to protect every single nickel.
So here's the point. If you're in that situation, if you know you have a spouse or a family member that needs nursing home care, you should call Pat right away. If you don't know it until the event happens, you immediately need to reach out, call him, so that we can take the steps that need to be taken in order to get the benefit of the Medicaid planning. You don't want to end up bearing the cost of $92,000 of nursing home care out of your pocket on an annual basis. And you can avoid it with the proper planning. If you do nothing, you can get stuck.
I couldn't have said it better myself, Ken.
Have a great week, everybody. Thanks for listening. We'll be back next week with Law and Reality.